Sefo, I know you guys went into last week's game hoping to get the offense back on track. Mission accomplished?
Somewhat. I think it's easy to be efficient in 1 week, but when you play a team like Washington State where they have such a high-powered offense and they score so many points no matter kind of what team they play, I think it's important for us to go out there and have another good performance this week.
How are you doing physically? Took a ton of big hits there in that game. How's your back?
Good. I feel probably the best I felt all year. To be able to have the facility and the trainers that we do and be able to rehab whenever I want basically is a great feeling, and I feel good. I'm ready to go for this week.
As a follow-up to that, you've had some shuffling on your offensive line. Will you just talk about how the offense has dealt with that and your confidence in those guys, whoever it may be, moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. Especially last week, I think there's 3 different guys that kind of got hurt, kind of switched in and out, and for those guys that came in to step up and basically have no drop off, it is great to see. It hasn't been that way in the past, and to be able to have that much depth is really. There's a lot of confidence in my O-line basically right now, especially with the run game and the pass game and all that they do. They don't get enough credit for what they do, and so it's just really inspiring for me to see those guys just come in. I think especially Sully Weefels, came in on like a 3rd down and 1 on a goal line against ASU, and he came in again last week on a 3rd down, and so for him to come in and step up like that, it is really big.
Sefo, Mike said after the game that you guys have been good, real good, and now it's your opportunity to be great. Do you agree with that? Did that resonate with you?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we've done something, but I don't think we've done anything really. I think that a lot of people haven't had high expectations for us this year, but in this building, in the locker room, we've had very high goals for ourselves, and so we've done very well up to this point. We wish we could have done better, but 8-2 is a good spot to sit at, and we've got 2 very important games and 1 very good opponent coming in this week in WSU, and so we've got to do everything in our power to be prepared and to go out there and basically play for a Pac-12 championship, because if we lose this game, then basically everything is in our hands right now, and if we let it go, then who knows what will happen.
So you guys have had the goal all along, but now that you're in place to do it, is there any difference in terms of the intensity for the coaches, the preparation, the way they're challenging you guys, anything like that? Is there anything different now if the goal's right there, you're actually in place to do it?
I don't think so. I think we've been trying to play at a high level all year, that there's not much more. Obviously, you can yell a little more and you can be a little more intense, but I think for the most part, each and every week that we've went into, we've had very intense practices. If Chev has something on his mind, he'll let us know. If Lindgren, if we do something wrong in practice, Lindgren will make sure that we know that what check to make, or what look isn't good for what play. And so we've been very focused throughout these weeks. And I know we always haven't gotten the results we've wanted, even if we've won. But it's just another game. It's another game that I'd like to treat as a championship game, and everyone else just wants to create a little bit bigger press about it now.
So if I know you weren't going to let Jimmy forget about getting juked in Arizona Stadium, and you said leaving his ankles on the ground. But another captain here is a guy you're close to. What can you just say about his progression this year? And Ryan mentioned a lot of it has to do with how well the defense now understands what it's doing, and so a lot of those other pieces help him succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But for him individually, how he's become a pass rusher and you seeing that position from your side, what can you say about his evolution? Yeah,
he's definitely gotten a lot better since we've been here. He's played all 4 years now, and if my man could put on some weight, he'd be a very dominant force. Not to say that he's not good right now, but to see his progression and how much better he's improved over the years is great to see. If you would have told me that he would be getting the most sacks his senior year when we first came in, I wouldn't have believed you. And so to see just his progression and how well he's doing is great to see. And like Ryan said, the defense is just knowing its job now, and everyone's just doing their part, and Jimmy is benefiting from that.
Do you try to get him to eat more, or how's that work?
No, I don't try and get to get him to eat more.
Hey, Sefo, obviously we know all about the Jimmys and the Kenneths and the Bryces and the Philip Lindsays. Is there a guy on this team that's maybe an unsung hero that doesn't play that much, is kind of maybe a glue guy that maybe doesn't get the recognition, but you'd be invaluable to this team?
I think there's a couple, and I'll mention a couple. I think one of them is Andrew Bergner. I just call him Berg. He plays DB, he plays special teams for us, but some of the looks that he gives on scout team, he plays cornerback here, and to be able to give us a good look on defense and be able to challenge some of our receivers, because sometimes you can't always get the best looks from your scout team. Sometimes you don't have the depth. Sometimes you don't have the players to go out there and give us a half-decent look. And he's done a really good job this year of going out there and playing ball, on special teams and especially in practice. And another one, I think Tim Lynott, I know he plays a lot on offense, but I think, like I said earlier, linemen don't get a lot of recognition. But to be a young guy and stepping up and coming out and especially blocking for me, it goes unnoticed a lot, in my opinion, but he's done a lot of good things this year, and there's only a lot of room to go up for him.
Washington State's defense is playing better this year than it had in previous years. What do you see from those guys on film?
I think they're very physical up front. They've got a lot of activity going on. They like to do a lot of stemming, shifting on their front four linemen, and sometimes they'll play an Okie front, but they've got basically – there's sometimes where you can really pick on someone, in a defense, but with this Washington State defense, they're just sound all around, and so we just got to be consistent throughout the whole game, and it's going to be back and forth. No one's going to blow each other out. It might be a shootout, and we'll be ready to play against a tough defense this week.
Sefo, first top 25 matchup here at Folsom Field, I think since like 2002. I assume these are
Sweet.
the games that you guys have always wanted to play in, and now you're playing in them. Do you relish the challenge? Are you having the time of your life right now as a football player?
Oh yeah. Are you not excited? Who's not excited to cover that, and who's not excited to play in it? I mean, to be able to play in a big game, especially at home in front of our fans, who's been incredible this year, and to finally we're 8-2, and to finally kind of get over the hump, and we're not losing all the time, and we're playing for something in November. The November games matter, and so it's really important. It's really exciting. I don't think anyone's uptight. I mean, the amount of laughter, and we had a great practice today, and guys were laughing and having fun and joking, and it's an exciting time. We're just excited to play. It'll be a big game on Saturday. I'm excited for everyone to come out and witness a good football game.
So I know it would be it could be just like a funny quirk to talk about how you guys are 9-1 in coin tosses, and it's just a funny stat. But it's had a tangible effect because there's been, Brian noted this the other day, there's been, I think, about 6 games where you guys won the toss, you deferred, you hold them on their first drive, and then you go down and score. So it's been a really successful thing. When you guys walk out there, how does the arrangement of deciding what you're going to call and the feeling when it lands the way you want, can you just kind of take me through that walk and that flip and how that goes?
Yeah, so I call the coin toss every week, and I always go tails. Tails never fails. So if anyone's out there listening to this, tails never fails. The one time we lost, my coach jinxed me because he said that you're 6-0 right now or something like that, and then I lost the toss. So Coach LaPrado, it's his fault for that. Coach Mack always tells us we're going to defer. I ask the kickers which way they want to kick if we lose, and we only lost once. So, yeah, tails never fails. That's the moral of the story right there.
So now you just brought up an interesting thing. I don't know if you heard Mike Leach the other week talking about the guy who does their coin tosses. So he was on one of those shows like The Price is Right or something, and he won. So Mike Leach thought, well, God, if he wins with that, he should do my coin tosses. I'm not sure he's lost a coin toss at all either. So it's a nice little underlying current to this game all of a sudden.
I think you're making the underlying current there, but I mean, I guess if he wins, fair play to him because I'm not the one calling the coin toss.
So you guys really haven't been in a shootout since Oregon, and this game has a good chance to be that. They haven't scored under 30 points in just 2 of their games this season. Just talk about scoring for you guys. You guys really looking to play up-tempo this game, and kind of what is your approach offensively, given, you were able to get back on track this last weekend somewhat, like you mentioned, but it's kind of been a slow-moving process the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think we've got some opportunities to take some shots downfield. We're going to play our game, play up-tempo, and take what the defense gives us, but we need to be ready as an offense for a shootout. I mean, it's not like a secret that they don't score points. You don't have to watch any of their games. You could just check the stat line and be like, oh, okay, they scored points. And so it'll be exciting. You know, the offense needs to be ready. I expect our defense to stop them, but if they don't, then as an offense, we need to be ready to score some points and get into a shootout.